I see why you didn't want to sit in this chair. It says it just don't feel right.
You want another chair, sir?
Nah, it's fine. We got to get another one of them rollers. Them things that you can, you know what I'm saying? Things with the hydraulics you can lift up and down. That's what we need.
No, I wouldn't want to see it. What it is though, I just slavery. You carry that when you had that harness on, you know, you had your tools and shit in the harness. It's like 100 pounds or so. You back. So just imagine like you walking around all day with 100 pounds. Like that's what it is now. I want to sit. Sometimes I want to sit straight up, like that shit, and I lean over that shit.
Yeah.
Stiff chair is good for you. That's what they're saying. Yeah. I hear you. I don't feel like saying that today. You know, old man, he doesn't like to have a rolling chair. He likes a simple, four-legged chair that don't move. Every single class he teaches.
You talking about Jeremiah?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. He don't fit in the rolling chair with the arm. And he'll tell you. He'll tell you, look, I don't listen. I'm too goddamn big for these goddamn seats. Yeah. You got to put me in one of these regular things right here. Yeah, that's because he be in the gym. He trying to get bigger. He said it makes him angry when he can fit in one of them chairs with the arms on it. He don't want to fit in them goddamn chairs. Oh man, that's funny as hell. All right, we get started in 1 second. Give me 1 second. Everybody watching online, make sure you like and share the class. Like, yeah, Jeremiah 2. Good. Let me see. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Shalom Israel, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Bracket Thumb, Yahweh Shemala Thumb Bashim Yahweh Shad. It's the ISUPK weekly Sabbath service of the Lord, right? Of course, Leviticus the 23rd chapter gives us the commandment that we are to observe the Sabbath service every Saturday, every seventh day of the week, which is Saturday. So that's why, of course, everything we do in ISUPK, you can find it in the Bible, right? We don't do anything, we don't deviate from the Bible at all. That's why we observe this Sabbath service every Saturday, right? Today, we're going to be going over Jeremiah the 2nd chapter. Jeremiah the 2nd chapter, right? Of course, you know Jeremiah is a prophet of the Most High God. And in Jeremiah the 2nd chapter, it talks about what the Lord is going to do to them that harm his children, right? That's why, of course, today's class is titled, and it comes directly out of Jeremiah the 2nd chapter, All That Offend, let me get the exact title, right? All that devour him shall offend, right? All that devour him shall offend. So now, of course, this is talking, we're going to break it down, of course, right? But this is talking about anybody that tries to devour the children of Israel shall offend the Most High. And offending the Most High is the last thing that any nation should ever want to do, right? No nation should ever be okay with offending the Most High. And if they think they're okay with it, then they're going to learn one day, right, when Christ returns, that was a terrible decision. And we're going to read all about it, right? So we can get into the scriptures. We're going to go ahead and start off the Sabbath service. All right. So just men up here at Medium, which means to stand. It's like, you know how to blow this on? You want to blow it? Go ahead, step up. Yeah, step up. Represent yourself.
Kabaramath Banya Hawda Banya Sharala.
Kabaramath Banya Hawda Banya Sharala.
Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shabrak
Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shabrak. Step up.
La Yasharala.
Which means to Israel. Okay. All right. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get these prayers in. So I imagine Wakwan Yahagwadan, which means to turn and face the east. All right. We're going to do these prayers. Beginning with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shamka. Yahweh. Malak with Ka. Taba'ah. Ratazaka. Hayah. Aisha. Barataza. Kawa. Hayah. Bashamayim. Nathanawa. Lakam. Koyawam. Wasalagnawa. Kawawatnawa. Kasalagnawa. Kawawatyanawa. Wala'ah. Tabayanawa. Banasaya one. Abal. Hawashanawa. Mayan. Raikaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. Waha'ala. Wathapara. Laiwalamium. Aman.
Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done.
In earth as it is in heaven.
In earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
We forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. The glory. Forever.
So be it.
All right, we're going to read the Hakat, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushai. Babu Kushai. Nathanaw. Hakat. Larapa'ah. Kal Maka'ala. Wakal Madawa. Hakat. Latahar. Hamatazariah. Hakat. Lakwayam. Hamathu. Hakat. Arakawa. Hatama'ala. Lagarshan. Ba'ashem Yahushai. Throughout our month.
Power in the English. Yahweh in the name of Yahushai. Please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness. All manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. Power to raise the dead. Power against unclean spirits. Cast them out. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it.
All right. I'm going to read Psalms, the 121st chapter in the Hebrew. Asha'ah. Ayanya. Ahaharya. Mayan. Yaba'ah. Isaiah. Ma'ai. Yahweh. Aisha. Shamayam. Warataza. Al Yathan. Lamawat. Regalka. Al Yanawam. Shamarka. Hana. La'ah. Yanawam. Wala'ah. Yayasan. Shawamar. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shamarka. Yahweh. Tazalka. Al Yad. Yamyinka. Yawamam. Hashama. La'ah. Yakaka. Wayarak. Walayala. Yahweh. Yashamarka. Makalrai. Yashamar. Athnapushka. Yahweh. Yashamar. Taza'athka. Waba. Wa'aka. Ma'aitha. Wa'ai. Awalam.
Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes into the hills. When cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord.
From the Lord.
Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy feet to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep.
He that slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day. Nor the moon by night. The Lord will preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out. And thy coming in. From this time forth. And even forevermore.
Psalms, the 83rd chapter. We're going to read that in the Hebrew. Alahayo,
Alahaya,
Aldamaya Laka,
Aldama Yalaka,
Al Thakarat,
Al Thakaras,
Wa Al Thashakwat,
Wa Al Tashakwat,
Al
Al
Kayahana,
Kayahana,
Awayabika,
Our Yabika,
Yahamaya 1,
Yahamaya 1,
Ra'ash,
Ra'as,
Al Amaka,
Al Amuka,
Ya'ara Yamwa,
Ya'ira Yamwa,
So Sawada,
Sawada,
Wayatha,
Wayata,
Ya'itazawa,
Ya'itazawa,
Al
Al,
Tazapawanyaka,
Tazapawanyaka,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Lakawa,
Lakawa,
Wanakakidam,
Wanakakidam,
Magauya,
Magalia,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Sham Yasha'ala,
Sham Yasha'ala,
Iwada,
Iwada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nawaitazawa,
Nawaitazawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakagwa,
Yakagwa,
Auyaka,
Alyaka,
Barya,
Barya,
Yakar,
Yakar,
Athwa,
Athwa,
Ahawya,
Ahalya,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Wayashamai,
Wayasamai,
Alayam,
Alayam,
Mawa'aba,
Mawa'aba,
Wahagaryam,
Wahagaria,
Gabal,
Kabal,
Wa I'm a lot like it. Wa I'm a one.
Wa I'm a one,
Wa I'm a lot.
Wa I'm a lot,
Palashah.
Palasat,
I'm Yeshavya.
I'm Yeshabya,
Tazawar.
Tazawar,
Gam Ashawar.
Gamasa War,
Nalawa.
Nalawa,
I'm Mum.
I'm Mom,
Hayawa.
Hayawa,
Zarawai.
Zarawai,
Labanya Lawat.
Labanya Lawat,
Salah.
Salah,
Aisha.
Aisha,
Laham.
Laham,
Kamadyan.
Kamadya,
Kasaya.
Kasaya,
Sara'ah.
Sara'ah,
Kayabyan.
Kayabya,
Banakal.
Banakal,
Kwayashwan.
Wayaswan,
Nashamadwa.
Nasamagwa,
Bayan.
Bayan,
Da'ara.
Darai,
Hayawa.
Hayawa,
Daman.
Daman,
La'adama.
La Adama,
Shayathamwa.
Shayatamwa,
The Nada.
Danada,
Slaki. Nada.
Nada,
Yamawa.
Yamawa,
Ka'irab.
Kaira,
Wakaza Abba.
Wakaza Abba,
Wakaza Bak.
Wakaza Ba,
Wakatazal.
Wakatazal,
Mana I.
Mana I,
Call.
Call,
Nasaya.
Nasaya,
Kamwa.
Kamwa,
Ashar.
Ashar,
Amarwa.
Amaru,
Nayarashah.
Nayarasha,
Lanawa.
Lanawa,
Ah.
Na'awat,
Na'awat. Allahaya.
Walahaya,
Allahaya.
Alahaya,
Shayathamwa.
Shayatamwa,
Kagalgala.
Kagogala,
Kakwat.
Kakwas,
Lapanya.
Lapanya,
Rakar.
Rakar,
Ka'ash.
Ka'as,
Taba'ira.
Daba'ira,
Ya'ira.
Ya'ira,
Wakala Haba.
Wakala Haba,
Talahat.
Dalahat,
Harayam.
Harayam,
Kan.
Kan,
Tharadapma.
Dabaradapma,
Basa'irika.
Basa Irika,
Wabasa.
Wabasa,
Wapathka.
Wapafka,
Tabahalam.
Dabahalam,
Mala'ah.
Mala'a,
Panyaham.
Panyaham,
Falawan.
Walawan,
Waya. Slaki. Waya.
Waya,
Bakwashwa.
Bakwaswa,
Shamka.
Shamka,
Yahawa.
Yahawah,
Yabashwa.
Yabaswa,
Waya.
Waya,
Bahawa.
Bahawa,
Idya.
Idya,
I.
I,
Waya.
Waya,
Kaparwa.
Kaparwa,
Waya.
Waya,
Abadwa.
Abadwa,
Waya.
Waya,
Da'aiwa.
Da'aiwa,
Kaya Atha.
Kaya Atha,
Shamka.
Shamka,
Yahawa.
Yahawah,
Labadka.
Labadka,
Al Yawan.
Al Yawan,
Al Call.
Al Kal,
Ha Arataza.
Ha'arataza.
Psalms 8:30, English. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
Be not still, O Yahweh.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
For thy enemies make a tumult.
For thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
Tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab.
Of Moab.
Irene.
The Hagarenes.
Gabal.
Gabal.
And Ammon.
And Ammon.
Amalek.
Amalek.
The
The Philistines.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Ashur also is joined with them.
Assur also is joined with them.
They have opened the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
As to Sa'ar.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to Jabin.
At the brook of Kishon.
At the brook of Kishon.
Which perished at Endor.
Which perished at Endor.
They have become dung unto the earth.
They have become as dung unto the earth.
Make their nobles as a reb.
Make their nobles as a reb.
And like Zabin.
And like Zeb.
Yea.
Yea.
All their princes as Zabah.
All their princes as Zabah.
And as Amunah.
And as Amunah.
They said, let us take to ourselves the house of God in possession.
They have said, let us take to ourselves the house of God in possession.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As to stumble before the wind.
As to stumble before the wind.
As the fire burneth a wood.
As the fire burneth the wood.
As the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name, O Yahweh.
That they may seek thy name, O Yahweh.
Let them be confounded in trouble forever.
Let them be confounded in trouble forever.
Yea, let them be put to shame and perish.
Yea, let them be put to shame and perish.
That men may know that whose name also is Yahweh.
That men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh,
art the Most High over all the earth.
art the Most High over all the earth.
Right? We're going to read the, I don't know why I did this. We're going to read the blessings in the Hebrew. All right? Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahweh Shai.
Wa Yahweh Shai.
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Wa Alahayo.
Wa Alahayo.
Matazav Ya'ah.
Matazav Ya'ah.
Alawep Yahana.
Alawep Yahana.
Ha Alawepya.
Ha Alawepya.
Hasaranya.
Hasaranya.
Hakwatazayanya.
Hakwatazayanya.
Hakaya Yoyo.
Hakaya Yoyo.
Waha Agwati.
Waha Agwati.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Wa Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Wa Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Tawara Aman.
Tawara Aman.
Blessing in English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commander General Yohana.
Commander General Yohana.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The
officers.
The
troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
All right. With that, Sar wa Yeshabim, y'all can turn and be seated. We're going to be reading out of Jeremiah, the 2nd chapter. All right, starting at the 1st verse. All right. You got your gum or no? Yeah. You do? Yeah. Okay. I might call you up. All right, that's fine. Yeah. Just after this one. Right. But, all right, so we're going to be in Jeremiah, the 2nd chapter. All right. We're going to be beginning at the 1st verse, right? Give me 1 second. I just want to, I'm going to find out what this app is so I can give it to y'all if you would like. So if anybody has, I ain't got no damn iPhone, so like it. But if anybody has an Android, right? If you want to read along with this brother when he's reading the Hebrew, there's an app, right? It's called the Tanakh. It's just when you look up the app in your Google Play Store, right? It's called Tanakh, Tanakh, and then it'll have Hebrew beside it. All right. Matter of fact, let me pull it up to the camera. If everybody wants to see it. See it right there. I don't know if you can be able to. Yeah, right there. All right, that's the app that y'all want to get. That app right there. You can read exactly what the brother is reading. So now, of course, we have the physical Tanakh, right? We have the physical Tanakh with the Hebrew language in it. But this app gives you the exact language and the same thing, right? So just in case anybody, I don't know of any for the iPhone. So like it, you know, I'm this team Android over here. So like it.
So like you go on Google. On Google, if you type in Blue Letter Bible, and then click the Blue Letter Bible, and then right there it's gonna give you a search bar. You just search up the chapter. I mean the book, chapter, and verse that you want, and then right there you just click on tools. Once you click on tools, it's gonna give you the Hebrew, so like the Assyrian Hebrew, right?
See all them steps you got to go through if you got an iPhone. All you got to do if you got an Android is just download the app. So like it. But you know, I ain't gonna hit on y'all too much. I know everybody in here got a goddamn iPhone. But yeah, just that's gonna help you, of course, stay in tune with the class and of course be able to learn that Hebrew if you follow along. So I would recommend that to anybody, right? But Jeremiah the 2nd chapter, we're gonna read verses 1 through 7.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 1. Wayahaya, Devour, Yahweh, Aliyah, La'amar, verse 2. Halak, Wakwarath, Ba'azanya, Yarawashlam, La'amar.
So like just so you can know,
yes, sir.
Is Yarawashalam? That's Jerusalem.
Yarawashalam.
Mm-hmm.
So like it, sir.
That's what.
Yarawashalam.
La Amar, Ka, Amar, Yahweh, Zakar, Sayah, Laka, Hasad, Na'iwara, Yaka, Ahabath, Kalwal, Lath Yaka, Lakathak. So I guess, sir.
Mhm.
Lakat.
So I got step away for a second. Where you at? Middle of two?
The second from the last line, sir. First, the second expression.
You talking about this one right here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You talking about this one right here?
Yeah, Khan.
Yeah, that's Lakathka.
Lakathka.
Mhm.
The water, sir.
Mhm.
Lakathka. Akaria. Bamadabar. Ba'arataza. La'a. Zerawaya. Verse 3. Quadash. Yashar Allah. La Yahweh. Ra'ash Yath. Sabawatha. Kal Akalyawa. Ya'ashamwa. Raya. Sabah. Al Yahama. Naam. Yahweh. Verse 4. Shemaiwa. Debar. Yahweh. Bayath. Ya'aikwad. It's like it. Yaikwab. Wakal. Mashapat Kawath.
Mashapakwath.
Mashapat. It's like it, sir.
Mashapakwath.
Mashapakwath.
Mhm.
Mashapakwath. What, sir? Bayath. Yasharala. Verse 5. Ka. Amar. Yahweh. Ma. Matazawa. Abawath Yakam. Baya. Iwal. Kaya. Rakakwa. Rakwaya. Rakwaya.
That's a wall.
Ooh. Rakwawa.
Mm-hmm.
Rakwawa. Ma'ailya. Wayalakwa. Akaria. Hahabal. Wayahabalwa. Verse 6. Wala'a. Amarwa. Aya. Yahweh. Hama'ila. Athanwa. Ma'arataza. Ma'ariam. It's like it. Matazarium. Hamawalyaka. Athanwa. Bamadabar. Ba'arataza. Iraba. Washancha Ba'arataza Tazaya Watazal Mawath Ba'arataza Ba'a Ibar Ba Ayash Wala'a Yashub Adam Shum. Verse 7. Wa Abaya Azkam Al Arataza Hakarmal Slagit Hakaramal La'akal Paraya Watawabwa
What's a wabha?
What about what
What's a wabha?
Watawabha
Mhm.
Watawabha sorry Wathab Awa Wathat Mawa Ath Aratasaya Wanakal Saya Shamatham La Allah Latha Waiba Latha Waiba.
All right. So that was Jeremiah the 2nd chapter, verses 1 through 7 in the Hebrew. All right. So now we're going to read those same 7 verses in the English and get an understanding of those verses. All right. So go ahead. When you got it out, go ahead and pull up Jeremiah the 2nd chapter, verse 1, and we'll just start from there.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came to me, saying.
So now this is the word of the Most High. The Most High is speaking here. From this point on, we're hearing the Most High speak, right? Keep going.
Go and cry in the ears of Jerusalem.
Do what?
Cry in the ears of Jerusalem.
Go ahead.
Saying, thus saith the Lord, I remember thee.
He does what?
Remember thee.
The Most High remembers us, although it may not seem like it. Keep going.
The kindness of thy youth, the love of thine espousals, when thou wentest after me in the wilderness, in a land that was not sown.
In a land that was what?
Not sown.
The wilderness, if anybody can really put themselves in the shoes of the brothers and sisters that came out of the Egyptian captivity, when we wandered in the wilderness for them 40 years, that was a land that was not sown. Meaning what? What does that mean when it says there's a land that was not sown?
Hit me with it. It means we didn't have any crops.
Yeah, it wasn't no, listen, it was the wilderness. It wasn't no goddamn farms and none of that. That's why the Lord had to make manna fall from heaven. You get what I'm saying? Because it wasn't like we could just go to a farm and go grab some corn. You get what I'm saying? And anything like that. You know what I'm saying? We had to go, we went after the Most High in the wilderness in a land that was not sown. And the Lord is telling us, he remembers that, right? He remembers the kindness of our youth, right? He remembers what kind of people that we truly are, right? But keep going.
Verse 3. Israel was holiness unto the Lord.
Was what?
Holiness.
What is holiness? What does the word holy mean? Anybody can answer. You want to answer? Go ahead, give it a shot.
Slovakia, sir. Holy is separate.
Separate, right? So when it says when the Most High, this is the Most High speaking. He said Israel was holiness unto the Lord, meaning we were separate from all the other nations unto the Most High God. Keep going.
And the first fruits of his increase.
Now, he also said that us, the children of Israel, were the first fruits of his increase. Somebody give me a shot. Give it a shot on what that is, what that means. Go ahead.
that to the Most High, we were the best of the nations walking on the face of his footstool.
Right. The first fruits. What is the first fruit?
The first fruits, Salaki, sir.
Go ahead.
The first fruits, as it pertains to sowing,
Mhm.
would be when the land is its most fertile and has the most nutrients. The very first crop that you reap usually is the very best.
Give me Exodus, the 4th chapter, because the Lord, you're correct, but the Lord doesn't only say this here; He says it all over the place. So give me Exodus, the 4th chapter, and 22nd verse, and we're going to see Him say it another way.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 4, verse 22. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh.
Now we're talking once again. Now we're going back to the Exodus, right? We're going back to the Egyptian captivity, right? Just like the Most High reference, and He's going to reference to you here the same way He referenced to you in Jeremiah, right? Keep going.
Thus saith the Lord,
Uh-huh.
Israel is my son.
Is what?
My son.
Keep going.
Even my firstborn.
My what?
My firstborn.
My firstborn. That's what the Lord means. When He calls us the first fruits of His increase, He's referring to us as His firstborn, right? Remember, the Most High, you find it all throughout the Bible. The Most High will reference and make a lot of metaphors to husbandry, right? To gardening, to tilling the land, right? He does that a lot because, I mean, I ain't going to try to give a because. That's just the way the Most High set it up. You get what I'm saying? And so He refers to us as His first fruits. Now, we're not crops. You know what I'm saying? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are not crops. We don't grow in the goddamn dirt, right? But the Lord is referencing us that way because He's making that metaphor between the first fruits and His firstborn, even though we are the youngest nation to exist. Isn't that right? Right? Matter of fact, give me Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, and we'll read it. We'll read how we were the youngest nation, right? And the smallest, right? Give me Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
So we just read right back in in Jeremiah, the 2nd chapter. He said Israel was holiness unto the Most High, right? Now we're seeing it also again in the book of Deuteronomy, in the book of the law. For thou art an holy people unto the Most High thy God. Go ahead.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto Himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So everybody knows this verse. We've read this verse, in the UPK probably 1,000,000 times by now, because it's such an important verse. It's a pertinent, it's so special to find something like this in the Bible talking about niggas and spics. You get what I'm saying? And savages, right? To be able to find this in the Bible, that's why we read this so much, because this is a special scripture. Because it's what does this scripture do for blacks and Hispanics? When the entire world is against us, when everybody hates us, we can go into this scripture, into this Bible, and we can read what? That we're special, that we're above all the other nations. You get what I'm saying? To give us a little bit of self-confidence, because goddamn, because we don't have any. You get what I'm saying? But keep going.
Verse 7, the Lord did not set His love upon you.
Now He's about to tell you why He set His love upon you. And so now He's saying the Lord did not set His love upon you. Keep going.
Nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people.
So we weren't more in number than any people. And once again, we're the youngest nation, right? But we were, remember, 70 souls went into Egypt. Y'all remember that, right? 70 people went into the land of Egypt. And the land of Egypt was populated with millions of people. Go into history and you can find that the land of Egypt at the time of the Egyptian captivity was filled with millions of Egyptians and Africans. And we went in there 70 deep. So the Lord didn't choose us because we were, the greatest number of people. Keep going.
For ye were the fewest of all people.
We were what?
The fewest.
We were the fewest of all people. We had the least amount of numbers. Remember, if you just look at nations, right? Nations are birthed from one man, right? We come out of the seed of Abraham, right? That's the nation of Israel. And if you want to go specifically, right, Abraham's grandson, which is Jacob, whose name was later turned into Israel. That's who we came out of. The nation of Israel comes from that one man, Jacob. That's where the nation of Israel comes from. And out of Israel, right, came 70 souls into the house of Egypt, full of people. We were the youngest nation and we were the smallest nation, right? And so now we're going to see why the Most High, because the Most High didn't choose us because of our numbers, evidently, right? We're going to see why the Most High chose us. Keep going.
Verse 8, but because the Lord loved you, and because He would keep the oath which He had sworn unto your father.
Because He would keep the what?
The oath.
The oath that He swore to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The covenant. Remember, if you, and this is all over the Bible, right? We ain't got to stay in the Old Testament. We can go into the book of Romans, the 9th chapter. We can go into the Romans, the 9th chapter, and we can see that the covenant and the promise was given to the children of Israel. So the Lord is saying here, he didn't set his love upon us because we were great, because we were a great people, because we had so many, so many men, so many women. That's not why the Most High chose us. The Most High chose us because he loved us. Not only that, but because he was going to keep the oath that he swore unto Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's why he chose us, right? Because the Lord wanted to throw us away many a time. I think we know that. The Lord almost made a nation out of Moses. Remember this, when the Most High saw the evil that we was doing, when Moses was conversing with the Most High on Mount Sinai, getting the law, statutes, and commandments on Mount Sinai, the children of Israel was down there on the bottom of the mount, right? Taking their earrings off and all of their gold jewelry and burning it to make a golden calf and say that this is the God that took you out of the land of Egypt. That's what we was doing with our dumb asses. And then what happened? The Most High saw that, and he told Moses, listen, I'm going to just kill all of them, and I'm going to make a nation out of you. It won't be no more Israelites. And then what did Moses have to do? Moses had to plead with the Most High and say, well, Salaki, but you know, if you do that, the nation's going to look at you like you just brought the children of Israel out here to kill them. You get what I'm saying? So Moses had to plead with them, and of course the Most High was like, all right, you're right. You know what I'm saying? So he spared us for that. The Lord is not going to throw away his promise with us, right? His promise is that we get to rule. That's the promise. And that we get to be above all the nations, right? So that's the point, right? Keep reading. Any more on that?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
That's what the Lord did. Take me back to Jeremiah, the 2nd chapter, right? So that's what the Lord did. The Lord redeemed us, right, out of the house of bondage. That house of bondage, of course, is the land of Israel, right? I mean, excuse me, not the land, goddamn, the land of Egypt, right? That's the house of bondage. That's why when you read Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, the 68th verse, when it says that we shall go back into Egypt again with ships, it's talking about going into slavery or going into bondage again with ships, right? And that's exactly what happened with the so-called Negro and a lot of the Southern Kingdom here in America, right? We came into bondage with ships, all right? So take me back, right? Give me the 3rd verse again in Jeremiah, the 2nd chapter.
It's Jeremiah 2, verse 3. Israel was holiness unto the Lord, and the first fruits of his increase.
So we just got a couple precepts for that, but there's the rest of this verse is what this class is about. Keep going.
All that devour him shall offend.
All that what?
Devour him shall offend.
Keep going.
Evil shall come upon them, saith the Lord.
Saith who?
The Lord.
Say his name.
The Yahweh.
Saith who?
Yahweh.
That's who said this. Parak didn't say this. Kabbalah Mob didn't say this. We're not up here saying anything that doesn't come out of this Bible and come from the word of the Most High God. The Most High said that all that devour him shall offend, and evil shall come upon them. That's what's going to happen to these other nations. Give me Ezekiel, the 35th chapter, right? Give me Ezekiel, the 35th chapter, because we got to remember this. Because the Lord said it, it must come. It must come to fruition. It must pass, right? It's going to happen. And one of the reasons I don't just believe in this Bible because it benefits me, because it absolutely does. It benefits me, right? This Bible benefits Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So I don't just believe in this Bible because it says that we're going to rule. I don't just believe in this Bible just because it says that the other nations are going to perish for what they've done to us. I don't just believe in it because of that. I believe in this Bible because what this Bible has said would come to pass has come to pass. Everything that you read, I got a list of prophecies in my notes. I got a list of prophecies that the Bible have prophesied, that the prophets have prophesied, that have come to pass in the past. So now who's going to tell me that what the Lord says is going to happen in the future is not going to pass, right? Who's going to tell me that? Because I see all throughout the Bible, biblical prophecy. I see World War I in the Bible, exactly how it happened. I see World War II in the Bible, exactly how it happened. Now, the Bible also prophesies World War III. So I'm just supposed to not believe that. I'm supposed to believe what you tell me. No, I'm going to believe because the Bible prophesied them other world wars, this one that has yet to happen, it's going to happen too. Right? And so because that's the case, I'm also going to believe that the Most High is going to do what he said. He's going to put these other nations to shame. Give me Ezekiel, the 35th chapter, right? Give me the 5th verse, right? Because we just read that all that devour the children of Israel shall offend the Most High, and evil shall come upon them, saith the Most High Yahweh. Now, give me Ezekiel 35 and 5.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 5.
Start at verse 1 so we know what we're talking about.
Verse 1. Moreover, the word of the Most High,
that's right. Go ahead.
the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy...
So who's the son of man that he's talking to? He's talking to Ezekiel, right? Keep going.
Set thy face against Mount Seir.
Against who?
Mount Seir.
Who?
Mount Seir.
Who is Mount Seir? Mount Seir is what? Go ahead, let me know. I want you to tell me. Go ahead.
Edom.
Edom. Remember, if you go into the Bible, you'll realize that Esau, right, or Edom, the nation of Edom, they dwelt in Mount Seir. That's where they dwelt, right? And so now, when the Most High is telling Ezekiel to set his face against Mount Seir, he's talking about setting his face against the Edomites. The people, because he's not talking about setting his face against a goddamn mountain or a city. He's talking about the people that live there. And that's Esau, that's the so-called white man. That's what this prophecy is about. Now, skip down to verse 5 just for time's sake. And then we're going to read why you have to say why the Most High told Ezekiel to set his face against Mount Seir. Go ahead.
Verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
A what?
Perpetual hatred.
Go ahead.
And hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword.
So now, by the force of the sword, remember, Esau has been our enemy since we were in the womb with him, right? If anybody that doesn't know, right? Jacob and Esau, Jacob for one is who? Is Israel, where the 12 tribes of Israel come from, the Most High's chosen people. Well, Jacob had a twin brother, right? Jacob had a twin brother, and that brother was Esau. And that's who the so-called white man is today. You ever wonder why the white man hates you so much? It's a biblical hate, because we were in the womb with Esau, and in the womb with Esau, we were struggling in the womb. We strived in the womb with that white man, meaning we fought in the womb. And ain't that what the Bible says?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's get it. Matter of fact, so give me Genesis the 25th chapter, right? Give me Genesis the 25th chapter. We got to talk about this. We got to understand why this white man has been such a danger to us and why he hates us so much, right? So give me Genesis 25. Read 21.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife.
So now Isaac is the father of Jacob, the father of Israel, right? The father of Jacob, who is the progenitor of the Israelites. Keep going.
Because she was barren.
So his wife couldn't have any kids, no kids at all, right? They was trying, and his wife could not have any kids, right? Keep going.
And the Lord was entreated of him.
And the Lord was entreated of him, meaning the Lord listened to what he said. The Lord listened to Isaac and gave him what he asked for. Kids. That's what he wanted. He wanted children. Keep going.
And Rebekah, his wife, conceived.
So Rebekah got pregnant. Keep going.
And verse 22. And the children struggled together within her.
And the who?
The children.
The children. So that means she had twins, right? She had multiple children inside of her ovaries, right? What is ovaries? Inside whatever. I don't know. Uterus. Yeah. Y'all gonna get me cussed out. I'm over here talking about. Anyway, Salakia. Right. So the children struggled together within her what? Her uterus, right?
Yes,
keep going.
And she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
So she said, if it what?
If it be so, why am I thus?
So she say, if it's a blessing from the Most High that I'm pregnant, why the hell are these kids fighting in here, killing me? Right? Any sister that's ever been pregnant before, when that child gets to punching and kicking around in that uterus of yours, it's a goddamn struggle. You get what I'm saying? It's a goddamn struggle, and it's painful. Now imagine two of them in there.
Right. It's even worse for a sister like her.
Yeah.
She was just told that it's a blessing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She was just told that this is Most High doing. So
right.
They had them fighting against one another. Like, it's kind of like rhetorical. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's why she's asking that question. She's saying, if it be so, why am I thus? If it's a blessing, why are these kids killing me right now? Keep going.
And she went to inquire of the Lord.
So she went to inquire of the Most High God. Keep going. Let's see how the Most High responds to her. Go ahead.
Verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
2 what?
2 nations are in thy womb.
Now that's where you get now. That's why people think we're crazy, because people want to come up to us and tell us, well, if the white man is your brother, ain't he the same as you? And then they'll go even as far as to say, well, he's your twin brother, right? This is why it makes a difference. Now, if the Bible didn't say this, sure, we'd say Esau is our brother. Sure, we, that's our nation, whatever. But the Lord said 2 nations was in Rebekah's womb, right? 2 separate nations. Keep going.
And 2 manner of people.
And 2 manner of people. We are totally, even though that's technically, right, our twin brother, we are extremely opposite. We are the extreme opposite of the so-called white man. Because remember, we came out, and we're about to read it, I believe, right? We came out regular, like every other black person that was on the face of the planet. Esau came out red and hairy, right? Just like every other redneck white man that you see walking the face of this planet today, right? 2 manner of people. We're extremely different from these other from Esau. Keep going.
Shall be separated from thy bowels.
So 2 manner of people are going to be separated from thy bowels. Go ahead.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger.
So it says the elder shall what?
Serve the younger.
Okay, now give me 25.
Verse 25. And the first came out red and hairy.
The first came out what?
Red all over, like an hairy garment.
So now, the first child was Esau. That's who the first child was. So who's the elder? Esau. So why does it say the elder shall serve the younger? Because it looks like we're serving Esau today, ain't it? Ain't that what it is?
Yes, sir.
So riddle me that. Riddle me that.
The most I was trying to make a point right here too, because it's kind of backwards to have your older brother serve the younger brother.
Yeah.
That's not very common. You know what I'm saying? I once had an older brother. You know what I'm saying? And to have me serve him, or to rather to have him serve me. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of backwards.
Yeah.
But to have my younger brother rather, I'm saying, me serving my youngest brother. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's kind of backwards. So,
right. No, concern, just like he said, you know what I'm saying? It's the Lord was doing something here. The Lord is shaming Esau. That's a goddamn shame to have your younger brother be above you. And so once again, now our so-called older brother is above us today. That's why we're serving the white man in America today, right? But the scripture said this is prophecy. Once again, like I said, why should I not believe this prophecy when all the other prophecies came to pass? Right. This prophecy says that the elder shall serve the younger. So that means that Esau is going to serve Jacob. We got the scriptures for that, right? But take me back to Ezekiel the 35th chapter, real quick. All right. So that's where the perpetual hatred comes from. We've been fighting and striving since the womb. It's so much so that Rebecca was like, if this is supposed to be a blessing, why the hell am I in so much pain? Because these damn kids are fighting inside of me, right? So, of course, that's where that perpetual hatred comes from, right? They have had a perpetual hatred against the children of Israel. Now give me verse 6.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God.
As I what?
As I live.
Saith who?
The Most High God.
That's the Most High God saying, as I live, meaning as long as I live, which of course means forever. Keep going.
I will prepare thee unto blood.
Unto what?
Blood.
What's that word in Hebrew?
Dam.
That's beautiful. Like, listen, the Most High is going to prepare the children of Esau to blood. Why? Keep going. Keep going.
And blood shall pursue thee.
And blood shall do what?
Pursue thee.
Meaning they're not going to escape this thing. They're not going to be able to escape the blood. The blood is going to chase after them. Keep going. Why?
Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
See, the Most High is so goddamn cold, man. The Most High is so cold. Like, think about this. Think about the way that he's prophesying against these devils. He's saying, y'all ain't hate blood when y'all was killing my children. Y'all ain't hate blood when y'all was killing the children of Israel. Y'all don't hate blood. Y'all love blood, matter of fact. Well, guess what? Because y'all love blood so goddamn much, blood is going to pursue you. That's a beautiful thing. That's poetry to me. Give me Isaiah the 35th chapter, right? Let me see. Because we talk, once again, we kind of talking about the vengeance that the Most High is going to place on these other nations, right? And it's going to happen. I mean, we already see COVID-19 destroying the white man's economy. The same way, remember this, in the land of Egypt, right? When we was captives in the land of Egypt, the Lord placed plagues on Egypt and crippled their economy. Like, this thing is it's biblical, right? When he went, okay, name for me one of the plagues. Anybody can name it. You can just call it up. The frogs, right? Give me another one.
Boils.
The boils. That's true. Keep going.
Darkness.
darkness.
hell.
What get the one that I want that absolutely crippled their economy? I want the one.
Killing the firstborn.
That the killing of the firstborn, absolutely.
Their the crops, basically, they were the whole everything with all the cattle, everything
Famine, the locust, all of those things crippled their economy, but the locust did like the most damage, right? And the water, remember the water turning blood red, turning into blood, right? Imagine this. So it crippled their economy in this sense. Imagine you need water to survive, right? And so everybody in the land of Egypt drinks water. Every human needs to drink water to survive. All of their water was turned into blood. You cannot drink blood and survive. You're not going to survive. You're going to die, matter of fact, a lot quicker if you're drinking blood. The Lord turned their water into blood. So where were they getting their water from? They didn't have no goddamn water. Crippled their economy. Then the locusts came and ate up all of their crops. Ate up all of their goddamn crops. The locust was so bad that they came inside of the people's households and was in their stoves and their ovens. You can read that in the Bible. So they couldn't cook nothing. They couldn't eat nothing. And all the crops was gone. So what the hell are they going to cook anyway? The Lord was crippling their economy by doing that, by sending those plagues. Remember, Egypt was one of the biggest exporters. They exported a lot of goods to the other nations. They couldn't do that when the Lord had them plagues on them because all of their crops was gone. They didn't have any of them crops. And like the brother brought out, like everybody brought out, every brother brought out good points when it came to which plagues crippled their economy, because they all did, right? They couldn't make any money and they couldn't provide for their people. Now, what COVID-19 is doing to America is the same thing. This plague, you know how many not just restaurants, how many businesses have been closed, how many white businesses have been closed down because of COVID-19? Thousands. I mean, we're talking about it's not hundreds, it's thousands, in the thousands of businesses that have been closed because of COVID-19. That's a blessing from the Most High God. He's blessing us with the destruction of the other nations, right? How many white people have died from this goddamn virus? How many white people that could have grown up to be another Derek Chauvin that have died from this goddamn virus, right? The Most High is blessing us with these plagues that he sends to these other nations. That's why America is always considered. You read the book of Revelation, America is Egypt. America is Sodom and Gomorrah. America is Babylon. That's why the Lord is destroying this place. You just gonna chime in? Okay. But yeah, Sly, I ain't mean to go off on a tangent, right? Where we at? Give me Isaiah 35, right?
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 35, verse 3. Verse 3. Mm-hmm. Strengthen ye the weak hands, and confirm the feeble knees.
So what is the weak hands? What is the weak hands and the feeble knees? It's talking about us. It's talking about the children of Israel. What is the weak hands and the feeble knees? Good.
It's a lot. These are the ones that don't know or can't do the work, don't know how to or can't do the work.
Right, weaken the faith, right? And of course, like you said, that's kind of the same thing, right? They can't do the work or won't do the work, really is what this is talking about. Why should you do that? Keep going.
Verse 4, say to them that are of a fearful heart.
That are of a fearful heart. Say to them that have fear in their heart, that don't fear God, but fear man. Keep going.
Be strong. Fear not. Behold, your God will come with vengeance.
Who?
Your God.
Your God. This is talking to the children of Israel. And he's saying your God will come with what?
Vengeance.
Keep going.
Even God with a recompense.
With a what?
A recompense.
What's recompense? Go ahead.
It's like it, sir. It's payback.
Payback. That's the word that I want. The Lord is going to come back with payback. He's going to pay all these nations, remember, and it's payback for a reason, right? The book of Revelation say, fill unto their cup double as to what they filled unto you. Now, what did they fill? What did they fill our cup with?
Oppression. Sir.
Oppression and slavery and murder, right? That's what they filled our cup with. That's what we've received in America. The Lord said, fill unto their cup double, meaning double the terrors that they've committed against us, double the murder, double the slavery, right? That's that payback that this is talking about. Your God will come with a recompense, with a repayment. So anybody that's scared, and anybody outside of the UPK, they're scared, right? Anybody outside of the UPK, they're scared, and they're not scared of the right person. You should be afraid of the Most High God. I'm afraid of the Most High God. How can you tell that I'm afraid of the Most High God? Because I'm here today, instead of being in my bed sleeping. It's 11 o'clock on a Saturday. I could be asleep right now. You get what I'm saying? I woke up this morning and got ready, and I prepared to serve the Most High God. and I could have done something else. I could have rolled up a blunt this morning. You get what I'm saying? I could have got high. I could have done anything else but come to this sanctuary that Ezekiel prophesies about. I could have done anything but that, right? But I'm here. You get what I'm saying? That's the type of fear that you should have. You should be so afraid of committing a sin. You should be so afraid of getting high and afraid of anything that's abominable to the Most High God that you come here. So that's what this is talking about. Say to them that are of a fearful heart, be strong and fear not. Don't be a goddamn coward. ISUPK motto is what? We want no cowards in our camp, right? No cowards, no excuses. That's all plastered every goddamn school. That's plastered everywhere. No cowards and no excuses. And that's what the Most High is requiring of us. So people look at us like, we're just a militant group that's, a bunch of assholes and yell at people all goddamn day. We do this because everything that we do is out of the Bible. Everything, including not being a coward, right? Say to them that are of a fearful heart, be strong and fear not. Behold, your power will come with a vengeance, and he will come and save you. That's what the Bible says. So you can take me back to Jeremiah, the second chapter.
It's also important about being a coward. The Bible said what? No coward shall enter the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
The reason why no coward shall enter the kingdom of heaven is because a sinner is a coward. You know what I'm saying? That's why everybody must understand. Any man, woman, child that sins, that they're a coward. How do you know? Because a man that's selling drugs and killing people, you know what he feared? Someone killing him. You know what I'm saying? Right. He feared that get back. When you hurt people and you out there being a menace to society, your biggest fear is someone getting you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No different than a man that's a whoremonger or sleep on whores. You know his biggest fear is? Catching disease.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Having a Cardi B. Shit, our sister setting them up.
Right.
You know, she said she's a drug man. Drug men steal their money. You know what I'm saying? She was wicked and they was wicked, so they had to play it how it go. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's important that when they say no coward shall enter the kingdom of heaven is whatever that wickedness or sin you're in, there's no way for you to enter the kingdom of heaven because you're gonna be a coward.
Right.
You're gonna fear that get back.
Right.
The only way for you not to have any fears because fear is to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Any man knows in ISUPK, once you keep the law, statutes, and commandments, if you walk around a different type of, you know what I'm saying, bravery and different type of bravado, right. Any woman will tell you the same thing. Okay, so go ahead.
Con, no, damn right. You can't be a bitch and serve God.
Right.
That's you sum it up. That's the truth. You get what I'm saying? You cannot be a bitch and serve the Most High God because the Most High ain't no bitch. Yeah. Like if you read Exodus the 15th chapter, the 3rd verse, it says the Most High is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. You get what I'm saying? That's the God that we serve. The God that we serve don't want no cowards, just like the brother brought out excellently. You get what I'm saying? The Most High doesn't also want cowards in his kingdom. What the Most High look like being a man of war, and then he got a bunch of bitches in his kingdom, a bunch of scared niggas in his kingdom. It's not going to work, and that's not a God I would serve, right? Would any of us ever serve a God that would allow a punk in the kingdom of heaven? The kingdom of heaven is supposed to be the greatest thing ever. You got a precept?
Right. I got Joshua 1:9.
Mm-hmm.
It says, have not I commanded thee? Mm-hmm. Be strong and of good courage. Mm-hmm. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. Mm-hmm. For the Lord thy God is with thee whithersoever thou goest. Mm-hmm. Right. So basically, if you gonna be the only people that are afraid or are cowards are the ones that don't have the Most High with them.
Right.
That don't have trust in the Most High.
Right.
Because they trust in themselves and selfish. Really, they don't. Who you gonna trust?
Right.
Like, what power do you have?
Right. And that's an excellent point because, of course, the word God in the Hebrew is Elohim, which means powers. Right. So that was an excellent point. What power do you have if you're not with the Most High power? What power do you got? Is your power Caesar Borgia? Is your power the Christian church? Because if that's the case, then you don't have any power at all. Because that's the Christian church,
I'm saying the brother brought out saying that would you follow a God that accept cowards? Absolutely. In this world, you got people following God. You know what I'm saying? That accept cowards. Right. I'm saying Christianity accept
come
cowards.
as you are.
Catholic, come as you are. You know what I'm saying? That's such a weak, effeminate thing. You know what I'm saying? Like the ISUPK, what do we say? You could come in killer, but you can't leave here a killer.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
right.
That's the
right.
difference. Like you can't leave here as you are.
Right.
Saying you can't go to the strip club every single week. Certainly not here. You can't go to the strip club every single week and come in here on a Saturday rather. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And want to come back, want to leave here to go to the strip club and then come back.
Right.
Eventually, you won't be accepted here.
Right.
You can't come as you are and leave as you are here. But a Christian church, Catholic church, or Baptist, I'm saying whether any of these religions, even Muslims sell drugs. I'm saying they're out there selling drugs to our people.
Right.
I'm saying, and they
right.
come and leave as they are.
Right.
I'm saying, so yes, there's other gods, other people out there follow gods that accept cowards.
Right.
So you got to be a coward to sell drugs to a weak guy.
It's like if I
You know
could.
what I'm saying, before you go out, I'll say up in Scottsdale, right? Ain't they the richest? That's all the rich people at, right?
Right.
That's all the rich. Why not go up there and sell drugs?
Right.
Why you sell drugs in the hood where there's no money at? Because you're a coward. You know, if you go up there and sell drugs, you're sure to be arrested. I'm saying you get pushback, but you know they allow you to. You know what I'm saying, do all type of minor wickedness in the hood. So I'm saying you rather come in the hood, go ahead.
Right. No, damn right. And that's and what he brought out was so goddamn heavy because that's what people look for. They look for a God that accepts cowards. They look for a God that allows you to be a coward. Why do I say that? The goddamn Muslims are the biggest cowards. And the reason why I say that is because they got a surah, right? In the second surah, right? It says that if you get in a jam, now of course Muslims don't eat pork. They follow they follow the dietary law. That's what they say, right? So now the Quran says if you get in the jam and you're about to die, or you're hungry as hell and you ain't got nothing else to eat but pork, you can eat it. That's what the Quran says. The Quran teaches you to compromise your faith in God. The Quran teaches you to be a coward. Because only a coward would disobey the law of the Most High God because they feel weary, or because they feel faint, or because they feel weak. Once again, there's never a time when you are allowed to eat pork. That the Bible doesn't support that at all. You can never touch a dead pig, and you can never eat a dead pig. It makes you unclean, and that is a sin against the Most High God. There's no law outside of that says, oh well, if you decide, you get a little too hungry, ain't nothing but pig around there, you can eat it. That's what the Quran says. The Bible doesn't say that. Because why? Because the Bible doesn't support cowardice. It doesn't support cowardice, right? So excellent points, right? Let's get back to Jeremiah the second chapter, because I want to try to get to the next 7 too. So give me Jeremiah 2 and verse 4.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 4. Hear ye the word of the Lord, O house of Jacob, and all the families of the house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, what iniquity have your fathers found in me?
What do you say?
What iniquity have your fathers found in me?
Go ahead.
And that they are gone far from me, and have walked after vanity, and are become vain.
So what iniquity? This is a sad question. This is a question that if you really believe and think and know that the Most High is your Father, this is a really sad question, right? Because he's saying, what iniquity have your fathers found in me that they're gone far from me? What did I do wrong? That's what the Lord is asking. Ain't that a goddamn father has to ask you, what did I do wrong, son? That's what he's asking here. Keep going.
And are become vain. Verse 6. Neither said they, where is the Lord that brought us up out of the land of Egypt?
So they're not even asking for the Most High. They're not asking for the Most High. They're not praying to God. They're not saying, where is the Lord that brought us out of the land of Egypt like we do, right? This is what a lot of our brothers are doing. They are not calling on the Most High God. Keep going.
That led us through the wilderness, through a land of deserts and of pits, through a land of drought and of the shadow of death, through a land that no man passed through and where no man dwelt.
So now give me Proverbs the first chapter, right? This is a sad thing because the Most High is asking, what have I done wrong? Nobody, no Black, Hispanic, or Native American is asking, where is the Most High God that led us out of the land of Egypt? He's pleading with us at this point, right? And he's telling us, The same God that led you through a land of deserts and pits, through a land of drought. Remember, the Lord led us through the wilderness, which had no goddamn water, but the Most High provided water for us. The land did not have any crops to till, no ground to till. All of that ground was unfruitful. Think about that land. That land, you ever seen them? You ever seen them pictures of the land with a bunch of cracks in it? That's the land that we was going through. We wasn't going through, the rainforest with plenteous water and and animals and shit like stuff like that, right? We was going through a land that had nothing, but the Lord provided us with water. Even the reason, the reason why Moses couldn't come into the kingdom. Why couldn't Moses come into the kingdom?
Salakia, sir, because when he was in his emotions, he lost his composure.
But what was he doing though? What did the Lord tell him to do? To smite the rock and water would come from it. Right. That's what the Lord told Moses to do. The Most High made water come from a goddamn rock, a stone. That's what happened with us. That's what the Most High did for us. And now the Most High is asking, nobody's asking about the Most High. Nobody's asking where's that same power. They'd rather, what would they rather do? They would rather focus on serving Baal and serving Caesar Borgia and serving Allah and serving a goddamn stone than serving the water, serving the Most High power that made water come from that stone. That's what they would rather do, right? So now give me Proverbs 1:24, right?
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 24. Because I have called and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded, but ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my
He'll do what?
Laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh.
What does the Most High say he's going to do?
Mock when your fear cometh.
Because why? Because the Most High has called. The Most High, now you got to remember this, right? The Most High just said, he pleaded with us and he said, what if I done wrong? And we still didn't want to listen to our Father. And so now the Most High God, which is your spiritual Father, which is the Most High God, your Father, he asking you that same question. So now the Most High, he's you. And no man regarded, meaning no man gave a damn about his hand being stretched out. You get what I'm saying? But ye have set at naught all my counsel, meaning we didn't hear none of the Lord's counsel. We're not reading this Bible. That Bible sits in the goddamn, listen, the Gideon Bible is in every hotel room. Every hotel room. In that same hotel room, our brothers are taking these goddamn prostitutes and having sex with them in them goddamn hotel rooms next to that Bible. Because they goes checks into a hotel and says, I'm going to read this Bible right here. No, what they're gonna do is they're gonna wet a towel, put it under the door, and then they're gonna smoke weed. They're gonna disconnect the smoke alarm, and they're gonna get high in there. That's what all these niggas do. That's what they use hotel rooms for.
Some of them use that paper and that's like,
yeah.
So the brother's saying it in every hotel room. I'm saying. In every hotel room, there's a Bible on the Bible. And remember what the reason why they put that Bible on there for? Was to preserve life. You good? You good? Was to kill someone or kill himself in a hotel room. Now, Bible is there to at least have you consider. I'm saying consider life. Like, don't kill yourself here. Right. I'm saying?
And they got the windows don't even open all the way.
Right.
They open just a little bit, but not enough for a human body to come out of it.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you high up. Yeah. It's to preserve life.
Right.
The brother's saying it's 100% right. Go ahead.
Right. So that's the point, right? So now the reason why the Most High has to say this is because he's telling us the thing that we already know. We don't search for the Most High God. We don't search for God. We're not calling on him. We're not praying to God. Even when niggas pray, we're not praying to a black God. And it's so, even when you come into the truth, it's hard to now envision a black God because all your life you've been indoctrinated to believe that all the prophets, Jesus Christ, and the Most High God are white people. When you think of God right now, anybody could just close their eyes and think of God right now. You got it, you can come up. Anybody that closes their eyes and thinks of God right now, it's a big, it's a white man sitting on clouds with gray hair everywhere and a big beard. That's what you think of when you think of God. Even some brothers in the truth still struggle with thinking about a black God. because of the indoctrination, right? We're not calling on God. We're calling on Caesar Borgia and some cracker in the sky.
Right.
You gonna say something?
What movie was that again? What movie was that again where they showed Christ saying,
Passion of the Christ.
Was it
Passion of the Christ? When he was walking with the Most High?
Exactly what it was.
Yeah.
That movie, man.
Yeah. I know.
That movie is so gay. It's a lot here. I'm saying that movie.
They got Christ in a diaper in that goddamn movie too.
That he wasn't a diaper.
He was in a goddamn
like
diaper.
Like a little panty diaper. Yeah. I don't know what you can call it. I'm saying Salakia. You know what I'm saying? That's what he was wearing in that movie. Right. And what they did to the image of Christ, it's wicked out. Because what they do is there's no way a real man's gonna want to follow that. No real woman is gonna want to follow that out. Right. Ain't no real woman want a man like that. Right. See, he was crying, help me. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, nigga, what is you talking about? Like, if you Christ and you is that nigga, say, you kill me today. Like, this shit is forever. Like, at least have some strength.
No, damn
they
right.
ain't putting me in no diaper out. You don't lynch me, you're not gonna put me in no diaper. Everything I love, you're not gonna put. You just gonna have to lynch me.
They made it seem like Christ, dressed like that normally, though.
Right.
But even the scriptures say that a woman touched the hem of his garment, meaning he was rocking garments like this. You know what I'm saying? He was wearing clothes.
It's almost as if they tell him, like, you have to get this diaper. He said, all right. It's like, Salakia. It's just not something that, like, I'm just saying, any real warrior, you're not putting me in a diaper.
You damn right.
Go ahead and do it. I'm not getting no diaper.
Right. No, I was just saying, not only did they destroy the image of Christ, but of all the, the priests, all of Israel. All of Israel right there was nothing but what they look like Edomites. They all look like Edomites, and they all look like it's just the image that they put on our people. It was just weak. They washed down the name of Israel with their image.
The reason I brought that up is that's the image, because the brother was talking about the image that the world has. That's the first image I thought about.
You look up Jesus Christ. This is what comes up. You see this? Jesus Christ. Type it into your Google.
I couldn't blame my father.
Is that right there?
Brother, my father in the world, the brother didn't like to go to church. And I don't blame him. I'm saying I'm just mad about him, the fact that a couple times he tried to force me to, to make his woman happy. He wanted me to go to church. That's what I'm looking back upset at what? Right. I'm saying
that's Jesus.
That's times that that's what he's wearing. I don't want to follow like that. And you have to be a strong man for me. I can't follow like that. I won't be like that. Instead of saying I can't. And when he was I didn't. I can. He's wearing a diaper out. So is he pissing that diaper too up? Diaper on. I'm saying it's logical.
And that's the point. You get what I'm saying? That's the point, right? Because the Most High he's calling us saying, I called, but you refused. So the Most High is trying to tell us he's a nigga God. Read the Bible. You'll find out that the Most High is a nigga God with an afro. Mm-hmm. The Most High God has an afro. Not just Christ. I'm talking about the Most High God. Now, people think, because the Most High is a spirit, like he doesn't have a figure. The Most High has a figure, and that figure has an afro. You can say in a beard, right? The Most High is a nigga God. You have to put that in your brain. The Most High has called you and tried to tell you that. But what do? When you pray, you thinking about Jesus Christ in a diaper, with his shirt out, with no shirt, with his pecs all out, and all of that. And then crying so that's what makes no sweat, sir, like that, and that's what makes you feel like you should go to church and cry. Ain't that what you do in Sunday school? Mm-hmm. In Sunday in the Sunday service, you get in that goddamn church and they start singing that beautiful gay music, and then you start to cry. That's what happens. You get what I'm saying? Them niggas next door be crying their ass off.
They do.
They be crying.
I remember in Kingston, I'm saying, my mom used to always try to get on me on going to Sunday school. I tell her I don't want to go to Sunday school.
Yeah.
Saying, and we knew who I was. Saying, she asked me why. I told her it's gay. I was a little kid. That's the word I used to always use as a little kid coming up. It's just something my soul wouldn't accept. All this crying and mourning, and you know what I'm saying? Right. Like, at least that's some fight. If he was walking with that cross on his back, two things that tell me that. One, he had enough strength to hold up that heavy ass cross. Okay. And two, that means he had no strength to fight out that diaper being put on him. Salakia.
God, no, damn right.
There's no way I'm walking with the cross on my back. They put a diaper on me.
Yeah,
I'm
you're not getting a
that.
diaper on me. Yeah,
like, you mean tell me that he said some fighting. He's wearing a diaper up.
Right.
I'm saying that's what that I keep going back to that movie because to me, like being as a kid watching that movie, it hit me like, how he walking with that heavy ass cross? Like, you know how heavy that cross could have been up?
Right.
Solid
that cross
wood.
was heavy, and he was, and then a brother had you got to come help him up. And he crying, and you know what I'm saying? You mean to tell me that if he was fighting to carry that cross, like you had some fighting,
right?
I mean, you allowed him to put that diaper on you, Salakia, man.
Yeah. Right. No, absolutely not. And of course, that's not the Christ. That's not the Christ that we serve, right? Now, the scriptures say, like even Christ told you this, that there will arise false Christs. That's what he said. That cracker that's wearing a diaper, that's a false Christ. Right. You know what I'm saying? We take him out the camp and we step on him and throw him to the ground, right? That's what we do. Give me back to Jeremiah the second. I want to get the next 7 verses, right? But before we get to that, let's finish off this one. Give me verse 7 in Jeremiah 2.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 7. Mm-hmm. And I brought you into a plentiful country.
Into what?
A plentiful country.
Keep going.
To eat the fruit thereof and the goodness thereof. Mm-hmm. But when ye entered, ye defiled my land, and made mine heritage an abomination.
Listen, when the Most High gave us our inheritance, we defiled it. We sacrificed all types of manner. Even to give you an example, right? Before we even came into the land of Israel, the priests of Aaron, right? Aaron's sons, they burned strange incense into the Most High. You niggas that be, burning sage in your house to get rid of bad spirits, all you doing is inviting bad spirits because the Lord gonna send them bad spirits in there. Because that is a strange incense unto the Most High God. You cannot just burn any incense that you think is okay, right? The Lord told you what to burn. He said frankincense and myrrh. That's why we burn it in here right now today, right? But the point is, right? We've defiled the Most High's inheritance, right? And made his heritage an abomination, right? And we're gonna read about it right in the next 7 verses, right? So just men up here, Amayim, please to stand. Right. Look.
Yahweh Amatiza Banya Howard Amatiza
Hey, it's like go ahead. It's like
Amatiza Banyashika Banya Howard
Amatiza Banyashikar Banya Yashal. It's like go ahead.
Yahweh Shem Shabakata.
Yahweh Shem Shabakata. Go step off first. Yes, sir. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to read the next 7 verses in the Hebrew. You want me to read it?
Go ahead.
All right.
Just for time's sake.
Okay, so we had 8 through 14, right? All right, so this is Jeremiah, the 2nd chapter, verse 8. Hakahanyam, La'a, Amarwa, Ayah, Yahweh, Wathapasha, Hathawara, La'a, Yadai, what? It's like a Yadai Naya, Waharayam, Pashaiwa, Baya, Wahanaba, it's like Wahanabayam, Nabawa, Baba Isle, Wakarya, La'a, Yawa'awa, Halakwa, verse 9, Lakan, Id, Aryaba, Athakam, Naam, Yahweh, Wa'ath, Banya, Banyakam, Aryaba, verse 10, Kaya, Ibarwa, Ayah, Kathayam, Wawara, it's like a Wawara, Wakwadar, Shalakwa, Wahathaba, Wanunwa, Ma'ad, Wawara, Han, Hayatha, Kaza'ath, verse 11, Ha'ayam, Yara, Gawaya, Alahayum, Wahama, La'a, Alahayum, Wa'imya, Salakia, Hamayar, Kabawadwa, Balawa'a, Yawa, Salakia, Yawa Ayala, verse 12, Shamwa, Shamayam, Al, Za'ath, Washa'arwa, Karabwa, Ma'ad, Na'am, Yahweh, verse 13, Kaya, Shatayam, Ra'ar Watha, Raiwath, Aisha, Imya, Athya, Izabwa, Makwar, Mayam, Kayam, Lakatazab, Laham, Ba'arwath, Ba'artha, Nashabar, Yum, Amar, that's like Ashar, La'a, Yakawa, Hamayam, verse 14, Ha'ibad, Yasha'ala, Yala Yalad, Slakia, Yalada, or Salaki, Yala Yada, Bayath, Hawa'a, Madawai, Haya, Labaz. That's like a Labazah. All right. So that was verses 8 through 14. Jeremiah, the second chapter.
Jeremiah
chapter 2, verse 8. The priest said not, where is the Lord?
So the priests aren't even calling for the Most High. Remember, we just read, right? We just read that in verse 6, right? It says, neither said they, where is the Lord? This is talking about the children. This ain't even talking about the priests, the people that should be in authority, the people that should be leading the children of Israel. The people did not ask for the Lord. They never said, where is the Lord? Now it's saying in the 7th verse, right, that the priests did not call for the Most High God.
8.
Right? It's kind, yeah, the 8th verse, right? In the 8th verse, the priest said not, where is the Lord? Keep going.
And they that handled the law knew me not.
Knew what?
Knew me not.
Even the people that handled the law knew the Most High not. What does that remind you of? Right? Go ahead.
It's a lot, sir. It reminds me of when Malak Yahushua is going to come back.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of Christians that want to say, hey, Lord, then we cast out, the devils in thy name and evil spirits, and he's going to say, depart from me, I never knew you.
That's true. That's a good precept. I want Matthew 23 and 23. You can pull that for me.
Sure.
Matthew 23 and 23. Because this is the Most High saying, the priest said not, where is the Lord? And they that handle the law knew me not. Who handles the law? The religious leaders, right? Christ had an interaction with the religious leaders goddamn every day, damn near. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
When he was out at camp, listen, Christ held camp. He stood on a pulpit of wood and taught. That's what he did. You get what I'm saying? Even when that woman was getting about to get stoned for adultery, he was out there having camp. He was out there teaching. You get what I'm saying? That's what Christ did. And so because he had camp, of course, the same way that Christians come up to us when we're having camp, Christians came up to Christ. So the Sadducee and Pharisee were the dominant religious leaders at that time. And this is going to be talking about the same thing we just read about, Matthew 23 and 23.
Book of Matthew, chapter 23, verse 23. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees.
Who?
And Pharisees.
So scribes and Pharisees are the religious leaders of that time. That's who the scribes and Pharisees are. They handled the law. Just like we read in Jeremiah, the 2nd chapter, they are the ones that handle the law, right? Keep going.
Hypocrites.
What?
Hypocrites.
Hypocrites. Why? Keep going.
For ye pay tithes of mint and anise.
Anise.
It's like you.
Anise.
Anise and cumin.
Cumin.
And have omitted the weightier matters of the law.
So now, this is what Christ is talking. He's talking to the religious leaders. He's talking to the people that handle the law, right? And he's saying, woe unto you, meaning what? Everybody in the UPK knows woe is destruction, right? Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, you religious leaders, hypocrites and cumin. What is that talking about?
It's like you said, herbs and spices.
Why? But why is it? Why is he mentioning those specifically? Why is he saying you pay tithes of mint and anise and cumin?
It's like you said, because our tithes is supposed to be our money.
What's okay? No, that's not why he's saying that. The reason why he's bringing these things up is because they're expensive commodities. They're import and export items. Which, if you know anything about the time of that Christ was alive, the scribes and the Pharisees were the religious leaders, and they worked very closely with the Romans, just like the religious leaders of today, the black leaders of today work closely with the United States government, right? And so what they did is they paid their tithes with expensive commodities, because the same reason that TD Jakes accepts tithes, the same way that the so-called I'll call him Tazadaki, right? The brother dead now. The same way that he called his people to pay what? Double tithes, right? To pay tithes. Tithes is the main point of this is that tithes is the most important thing to them, right?
Wow.
And then it says what? You have omitted the weightier matters of the law. So just like the Christian church today, they tell you to pay tithes, don't they?
Yes, sir.
And then they read in Malachi, where it says you have robbed me with your tithes and offerings, right? They read all of that. They say you got to keep that law, but they have omitted the weightier matters of the law, which are what? Keep going.
Judgment, mercy, and faith.
So now they have omitted the judgment and the mercy and the faith that you find in the law, right? The scriptures tell you, of course, we already know that the Most High put in place laws to govern the children of Israel.
Right.
Tithes is just one of them. Tithes is just really just a priest fund to keep the truth moving, right? That's really what tithes is for, right? But the Most High also made a law that says you cannot hate your brother. Leviticus 19 and 17 says you cannot hate your brother in your own heart. That's what the Bible says, right? Same thing for sisters, of course. Now, it says that, but these people were hating their brothers and their sisters. You get what I'm saying? They have omitted the weightier matters of the law. If you go,
that is why he called them hypocrites.
Right.
I'm saying, like, when you read the Bible and look at it, like, make it make sense. Look at it no different than today's time. Like, take for instance tithes, right? Tithes, we know the Christian church teaches that the Old Testament is done away with, right? Yet still people are still paying tithes. Tithes is the Old Testament law, right?
Yeah, damn right.
So if the Old Testament is done away with, why do you have the people still paying tithes?
Right.
Furthermore, look at it like, why don't the government take any of that tithes the Christian church pay? When since the United States government, like if you're playing chess, you know that. If anything you know about the white man is this: he loves money and he loves wickedness. Right? Two things he loves is money and wickedness, and that will be his downfall. Right. So why doesn't he take a part of that tithes in the Christian church? Because they're doing their job.
Yeah.
And leading the people astray.
Right.
Because there's no way America will run, you know what I'm saying, and this society will function without, if the people was a Black, Hispanic, or Native American Indian was on one consent. Can you imagine, like, the Mexican brothers and, like, I'm saying, Black people join together? You know, in the streets, we've been saying it for years. Like, if we come together, like, it's over with, right?
Yes,
Can you imagine Like, I'm saying those Rasta, I'm saying those Chicanos come together.
Right.
I'm saying the blacks, I'm saying whether it be the Jamaicans and what Jamaicans call Yankees and Black Americans come together, it'd be over with,
Yeah.
It will honestly be over with. The Puerto Ricans, the Dominicans, I'm saying the Haitians and the Dominicans come together, it'd be over with. So their job is to lead the people astray. So that's why they don't take any ties from them. And they're doing it. And to be honest with you, America, that's a big part of America. It's still standing up.
Yeah.
The people being astray.
Yeah, right.
So you know what I'm saying? So you got to make good.
Slag, if I could, sir, to build on what you said, sir, because that's so heavy, is the scholars of the nation of Edom know that what they have to do is they have to have us in sin. They have to have us in contrary to what the Most High says, because that means they can stay in power. They know that the first time that we gain favor of the Most High by coming back to His law, statutes, and commandments, they know exactly what you said, sir. It's over.
Right.
Yeah, and that's, of course, the Bible says the same thing. Remember, when you go into history, right? Every time I think about this precept, I cannot recall the book or chapter that it's in, right? But there was a nation that was trying to come up against us, and there was an Assyrian that was there. They were their advisor. I think it was an Ammonite nation up against us, and his Assyrian advisor said this: if they're serving their God, leave them alone, because the Lord is going to be with them. But if they stray away from their God and they stop keeping the law of the Most High, then that's the time to attack them, because the Lord is not going to be with them.
During the time of Nebuchadnezzar?
I believe so. You got the precept?
Yeah.
There you go.
It's,
This brother always got it with the precepts. Go ahead. That's beautiful.
Book of Judah. Chapter 5, verse 20 shall be their ruin.
Mm-hmm.
And let us go up, and we shall overcome them. But if there be no iniquity, and become a reproach before all the world.
Church makes a combine. Now, if you combine it with the Catholic Church,
Right.
I mean,
just the black church.
Come on,
Black
that's
church,
the stats.
Right? I'm saying, now let's match that with the so-called Hispanic. I mean, I'm sure they make same 11, probably even more. Right?
More. Yeah,
So
because the Catholic
50,
Church,
let's say 15
oh
billion a year. Now, how do you have black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians poor?
right.
I'm saying, if we're making so much money, so money's not our problem. I'm saying they're doing their job around leading the people straight.
It's like, so if I could, just to ask a rhetorical question, to me, to tell me that our people are making roughly 20 billion, 25, 22 billion a year in what we give to the
11
nation.
and 15?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're giving like 20, 25 billion to the nation that oppressed us and the ideology system that oppressed us, when in one month, we could literally feed all of one another, come back to literally build our own community in 1 month on that type of money. And all right, Slocky.
We could build up communities that money,
I was gonna say, if I could, we've done it before. We've done it, but because the white man is such a devil, we weren't allowed to keep it. And this is what the problem is too. If I could, you know what I'm saying? We went and we had Black Wall Street. You know how many small Mexican so-called Mexican communities there were that thrive without the white man and what the white man did to them. The white man came into those small Mexican communities and destroyed them. You can look it up on your Google. Google it
right now.
They listen, the white man came and destroyed those, just like, so I always bring up Black Wall Street because we've, you know what I'm saying, because that's one of the more prominent ones. But the less prominent ones are the so-called Native Americans and the so-called Mexicans, right?
Right.
That of course were the original inhabitants of America. Now, they've done that to us each time. You know what the problem is though? Instead of us continuing to fight, we choose leaders like Martin Luther King. And so instead of us continuing to fight for another Black Wall Street, where you're talking about 1 month, that 1 month is a good period because in Black Wall Street, there was 1 month before a single dollar came out of Black Wall Street. And so it all stayed within the Black community. Just like how you have today, the Asians, right? The Asians come into our communities and they have these nail salons and these hair salons, and they make millions of dollars off of us and give none of it to Black people at all, right? What do they do with it? They give it to themselves. They put it into their own communities, right? That's why Asians are allowed to have a Chinatown. They have a Chinatown because they recognize that they themselves are a commodity. They recognize that. We have to, as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we have to realize that we are the commodity in America. America would fall without us, right? And so what we decided to do, instead of recognizing that we're the commodity, we decided to choose this. The white man destroyed our neighborhood and our economy that we had.
Right.
Might as well join the white man. That's what we did. We decided to join Martin Luther King in joining hands with the white man. What we could have done is continue to fight, which is what the Bible is all about. You go into the Bible, you'll see that we've been oppressed several times. But the brothers that decided to fight, they gained victory. You get what I'm saying? Go read the book of Maccabees. 1st and 2nd Maccabees will tell you everything you need to know about how to establish your people.
Right.
Them brothers, what they did was unspeakable, because what they did was something that Martin Luther King would have never done.
Right.
And take it a step further.
Like they would have died in the Sabbath.
They would listen.
I'm saying that for a reason.
I know, yeah, because of course it was brothers that didn't want to fight because it was the Sabbath.
Man.
But these brothers were some warriors, and they said, no, we're not going to die because it's the Sabbath. We're going to fight on the Sabbath.
Right.
Because of and why did they have to say that? Because their false religious leaders were telling them, no, y'all can't fight on the Sabbath. Just like IUIC will tell you what, you can't cook on the Sabbath. You can't eat on the Sabbath. You can eat cold. Yeah, you can't wash your clothes. You can't. And this is what kills me about that. Those religious leaders are going to lead us into turmoil. They're not going to help us establish the kingdom. There's no way that somebody that tells you that you can't cook on the Sabbath is going to lead us into victory against the white man.
Right.
Because the white man cooking and eating very healthily on the goddamn Sabbath. But they saying you can't. You got a question, sis? You want to say something?
Yeah, just listening to you guys. Like you guys have it harder today because like we don't know that we're Israel. So
right.
Back then, like you know, I mean, they talk as they knew they're Israel, but like up here, like you know, like you guys don't have to teach us that we're Israel and
right.
That's what I'm saying.
No, that's actually very heavy, right? Because one thing about the American captivity that we're in is different from all the other captivities because of this. In the Assyrian captivity, we knew we were Israelites. In the Babylonian captivity, we knew we were Israelites. In the Egyptian captivity, we didn't think we were Egyptian. We thought we knew we were Israelites. In the American captivity, what the sister was saying is so heavy because we don't know that we're Israel. So not only do we have to wake ourselves up and understand and go through the history and comb through the history, not just the Bible. Like I said, I don't just believe in the Bible because it benefits me. I have to go and comb through the Bible and understand the prophetic events and the historical events that have happened. And then I got to go and look at the archaeology to find out who I am. You get what I'm saying? We have to find out who we are. So the sister actually, she made an excellent point because it's a lot harder for us today, you get what I'm saying, to wake up our people because we had to wake ourselves up, right? And we got to wake you up with no evidence. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you this. If it was back in slavery where we knew that the white man was lynching us, you know what I'm saying, lynching the Black, Hispanic, and Native, it would be a lot easier to teach people this up.
Right.
To wake up on.
Yeah.
But you see when the white man is giving you a job, you know what I'm saying, and it's help feeding you up, it's hard to do that shit up.
So if I could, sir?
Go ahead.
If I could. Nat Turner tried it. Nat Turner, he held one of the biggest slave revolts, but he did it the wrong way. And he did it with the Bible. Like he did it with the Bible. Like, so for instance, Nat Turner knew that he was an Israelite, and he knew that the Bible was only for blacks. Well, he was a Negro only type of nigga, so he knew that the Bible was for black people, right? But what he did was he decided to let his emotions take over. And what did he do? He started just killing crackers, which is, you know, when the kingdom comes, that's fine. But that's not the way. That's why you don't see us out here. The things that are written aforetime are written for our learning.
Right.
We look and see what was written in the Bible, and we look and see that none of these other brothers, none of the prophets was going out just killing white people, killing Arabs. And what did they do? They did what we're doing here today. Right. You get what I'm saying? They did what we're doing here today, which is teaching our brothers and sisters. We don't need to kill any white man, because what we need to do, instead of trying to kill white people and eradicate, the Lord is going to do that. The Lord is going to eradicate white people off of the face of the planet. That's right. Obadiah 1 and 10. That's right. But we don't have to worry about that. What we need to do is fix our people. Right? We need to do what I learned from this brother when I first came into the school, Officer Apaya. We need to gather ourselves together. O nation not desired. That's what we got to do. Zephaniah 2 and 1. That's what we have to do. We don't need to go kill any goddamn body. We need to build. There's a time. What does Ecclesiastes say? The book of Ecclesiastes say that there's a time to destroy and there's a time to build up. Right now is the time to build up. Right now is the time to build our people up. It's not the time to destroy white people. You get what I'm saying? That's all I was gonna say.
Right.
Don't forget.
Go ahead.
Don't forget, they're only in this position because of what we failed. You know what I'm saying? So the only way to get them out of that position is we have to go the other way. We have to come back to the Most High. Right. There you go. I'm gonna read a story, but go ahead.
Khan, I was just gonna build up on what Parag was saying, right? Which was, excellent. And two events, right? First, as he mentioned, Nat Turner, and then the second was in Dallas, right? The brother that was killing all them cops, 5 cops he killed, I believe, and then 7 were injured, right? And what did that? How did we escape oppression with that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
damn right.
How did that even help us? Are there still cops still lynching us? Are cops? What happened to George Floyd?
Right. After the Dallas event. After what happened in Dallas.
After what happened to Dallas. So it's like all that is meaningless.
Right.
Like they can do. We can. You can kill as many as them as you can.
Right.
But the Lord said, vengeance is mine.
That's right.
And not only that, but this is the patience of the saints.
That's right.
And this is what we're doing. We're being patiently waiting, praying for our King Yahushua to come and bring mercy on our people and show no mercy on the other heathens.
It's like, if I could,
go ahead.
If I could, just real quick.
Come on,
you got it, sir. You got it.
This is to touch on the topic that we're talking about. A lot of Hispanic people that was saying, we know Hispanics. How you know they're Israelites? I'm saying that they share in the same curses that we share in, right? This is what happened to a vast majority of the Hispanics that's hidden history that is not known. This is by the name of Arlena Valencia, right? She's a descendant of a lynching victim. Saying her uncle was dying and he was telling her stories in his deathbed, right? This is from El Paso, Texas. This was a thriving Hispanic community, as you say, like Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm saying like those things, right?
Yep.
Sister Valencia, this is what happened to many of the community. It says some victims were burned alive, like Antonio Rodriguez, right? 28, migrant worker who was halted from a jail in a Rock Spring, Texas, tied to a tree and set ablaze in 1910. Right? Other mob gangs whip and shoot Mexicans, many of whom were United States citizens, sometimes drawing crowds in the thousands. The term like picnic, right? It's like pick a nigga, right? We know that they were having them because Mexicans are niggas. You know what I'm saying, whether they believe it or not, they were picking the nigga, right? It says lynchings have long been associated with violence against African Americans in the American South. These jump down, Slovakia. Give me a minute.
If I could add something just real quick. Just you can Google this, of course, as well. Mexican. Okay, so now Black people in America are called niggas, right?
Right.
It's what the brother said, like a hidden history also, is that Hispanics and Native Americans was all called niggers too.
Right.
So we're the only ones that are called niggers. So like it's further proof that Hispanics and Native Americans are Israelites as well. So like
notice China is a communist country, enemy of America, yet still they don't call them niggas.
Right.
Am I wrong or right? They don't call it Chinese niggas. They don't call it Arab. You see some Arabs up? They darker than some. They're dark. Like there's some dark ass Arabs up. They don't call them niggas.
Right.
I'm saying, but they call it Mexicans who have worked this land. I'm saying, died on this land, who have fed this country, fed this world. They call them niggas.
Right.
They call us niggas, y'all.
Right.
Because they know that we're the same people.
Right.
I'm saying
they do.
Go ahead.
Like, I was called a nigga before too.
Right.
I was like, that kind of got me into surprise, but at the same time, it actually like it like soothed me. Like it made me feel better though. And like it reminded me like, okay, yeah, I am.
Yeah, I am. Right.
Look, I'd rather
you got a hand. That deserves a hand. That deserves a hand.
I'd rather be a nigga than Edomite. As soon as you find out that God's chosen people are blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and that all these other nations are going to slavery, it puts you in a better position. It just makes you feel a lot better.
Right. Before you go up, it says Texas, which enshrined white supremacy in its 1836 Constitution, when Angelo slave owners concluded that Mexico had by far the most episodes of mob violence against people of Mexican descent. I'm saying, here's what they don't America, I'm saying, and the war do not want people to know. You see, a lot of the Hispanics over here, they went through even more of those mob violence, have communities being destroyed, and I'm saying even like so-called black slaves.
Damn right.
That's a fact. You go through history and look at it out. A lot of these so-called Mexicans and Native Americans went through a lot of hangings, huh? You know what I'm saying? A lot of these mob violence, mob come through your whole neighborhood, kill you, rape. In fact, a lot of them rape the women and children in front of their men. Huh? Saying a lot of them, some of them even rape the men. We went through like buck breaking. I'm saying a lot of them even rape the men in front of their women and children. I'm saying a lot of that history that not been brought out. It's like
So if I
go ahead,
no, if you want to get in real quick, that's fine. Now I was just gonna say, I got this this thing here, right? So I got a it's on gettyimages.com, right? And it's how many? 1,890 lynching photos. Now, what would surprise somebody who doesn't know any goddamn thing is about half of these lynching photos are Hispanic people.
Right.
The so-called Mexican got lynched right along with us. Like you had like, I remember I used to be, just to give anybody a little bit of backstory, I used to only believe that Negroes, so-called Negroes, were the children of Israel until I got smart and got taught. Because I taught myself, right, that the only the Negroes was Israelites. Then when I started to be taught, like Captain Katazai, he break that whole thing down onto you. I couldn't do his 4-hour lecture. That's a crazy lecture. You should watch it. It's on Cross the Line Radio. I think you got to be a patron, but regardless though, it's worth it. Pay that $6 and get that goddamn thing, because what he does is he breaks down how blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans all collectively are Israelites. Then you think because black people are so selfish in America, we don't realize that there are other people that have gone through the same thing or worse. I'm from the tribe of Judah, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to be the first one to tell you that the so-called Mexicans and the so-called Native Americans have had it worse than the so-called Negro. I'm going to be the first one to tell you that, because what they had gone through is unspeakable. It's unspeakable, and you can see it in their spirit, like the so-called Hispanic has such a fighting spirit. You get what I'm saying? The so-called Native American has such a fighting spirit, but you can tell that it's been broken down by the white man.
Right.
But that spirit is there. So-called Native American is a goddamn warrior. So-called Mexican is a goddamn warrior in different ways. So-called Mexican is going to, the tribe of Issachar is going to work from 12 a.m. to the 12 a.m. the next day, and then go home for maybe 5 minutes and eat some what's that soup? Y'all eating?
Menudo.
Yeah, they're gonna eat some hot ass soup after a hot ass day and then go back to work. They're gonna sleep for an hour and go back to work. You get what I'm saying? But that's the spirit that they have. You get what I'm saying? And so they have that fighting spirit that the white man has been trying to destroy in all of us. He's been trying to destroy in the so-called Negro, the so-called Mexican, so-called some so-called Native American. He's been trying to destroy it for thousands of years. Very specifically, this last 500 years. But he's not been able to do it. You get what I'm saying? Why? Because in the ISUPK, you have the so-called Negro. You get what I'm saying? You have the so-called, up here, we got 3 tribes up here.
Yep.
You got Judah, you got Issachar, and you got Benjamin up here, right here. You got Northern and Southern Kingdom up here. And of course, you go around the world and you see ISUPK has Gadite warriors in this thing. I'm about to get, we calm down, right? You got Gadite warriors in here. You get what I'm saying? You got Issacharite warriors in here. You have every tribe in the ISUPK that the white man was not able to break down and destroy enough that they could stay in the Christian church. These brothers would not allow it. You get what I'm saying? So I was gonna say, you gonna say something?
Like if I could, sir,
Mhm.
to build off what the officers was saying earlier, like they'll call us niggas, and then they'll teach the babies in the school, and to try to put a damper on what it actually means and where it comes from. Niggas just means an ignorant person. Ain't no crackers calling other crackers that supported Trump niggas, knowing that that's ignorant. So like, if I'm right.
No, you're right. For time's sake, I'm saying, let me just say this. It's an old saying that goes, birds of a feather flock together. You know what I'm saying? Birds of a feather flock together. There's no way in hell you can tell me that the so-called Africans and the niggas over here are the same people.
Right.
Me being a Benjamite, I know. The Africans hate Jamaicans. When I mean it's a hate, they hate, the Nigerians hate the East Coast. They'll tell you, Jamaicans. I'm saying the Nigerians hate the Dominicans out.
Yeah.
With a hatred that you can't even explain. It's like it doesn't even make sense. And coming up in the streets, we saw was like, nigga, why? It don't make no sense. Cat Williams at a stand-up comedy where he made a joke saying that if anything, we should be mad at you. You're the one that had them take us from the land and haven't came back and rescue us yet. We should be the one mad at you. But to them, how they looking at it up? What's that word they call us? Akata? Like American cotton picker?
Cotton picker.
First off, let me say Salakia. African never called me that out. I'm saying? Only because of UPK out. I'm saying? Only because of UPK. I'm saying? I'm a man of the UPK. I know how to carry myself a certain way. That up, Salakia. I'm saying? Let me just say that. My exercise word. Salakia. I'm saying? That is, I would not, I'm not taking any dish from any of them Africans out. Right. I'm saying? But that's how they treat it. That's how they believe out. There's no way you cannot tell me that the Mexicans and black people are not the same people out.
Right.
We literally have the same conversations out.
Damn right.
We walk the same. We talk the same. They only speaking in Spanish and we in English out. We like the same things. You ever seen a Benjamite out sit down with a Issacharite? I always say this out. We get a Benjamite and Issacharite out. Even though I was out in the world out, I had an Issacharite man tell me the same thing. He's like, damn, y'all like us. Y'all like the same food as us. This is before the truth. Like, I didn't even know. I'm sitting there telling him, like, yeah, nigga, shit, you damn right. I'm sitting there telling him, you damn right. I'm saying, you damn the same type of spices, food, all that shit we like. The same thing. I'm looking at him like, you sure you're not Jamaican? And they look at him like, no, you sure you're not Mexican? That's what he was telling me, y'all. For real, because how we carry the same things. There's no way you can sit down and say the Africans are not different.
Right.
Yeah.
The jokes that they make, it's like pause. Like what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The same little gay jokes the white man make that we don't like, the Africans make the same jokes out. Even when an African is in the room and sitting next to you, you just know, you just don't feel it. Forget color out. You just don't know. It just don't match up. It don't match up. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, for time's sake. Let's get it out.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna close out the Sabbath service. All right, men up, just men up here. I might which means to stand. All right, step up. Yes, sir. Go ahead, present yourself.
Kabaramak banya hawada banya shala.
Kabaramak banya hawada banya shala.
Yao bashim yao shabakatam.
Yao bashim yao shabakatam.
by Yasser Allah.
which means to Israel. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get the prayers. So everybody, Imagine, which means to stand. Wapan Yahak Wadam, which means to stand and face the east. All right. We're going to begin with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanaw. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shamka. Yahweh. Malak with Ka. Taba'ah. Ratazaka. Hayah. Aisha. Ba'arat. Kawa. Hayah. Shemayim. Nathalanaw. Lakam. Call your one. Wasalak Lanao. Kawabatno. Kasalakno. Kawabatyano. Wala'ah. Dabayano. Banasai one. Abal. Hawashino. Mayan. Rakaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. Waha'alam. Wathapara. Liwalumium. Aman.
Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father which art in heaven.
Our Father which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh. Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation.
And lead us not into temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
But deliver us from evil.
Thine the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
Power.
And the power.
And the glory.
Forever. So be it.
We're going to read the blessing. I'm slacking the power. The Akat in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushai. Baba Kusha. Nathalanaw. Hakat. Larapa'ah. Call Maka'ala. Wakal Madawa. Hakat. Latahar. Hamatazarayim. Hakat. Lakwayam. Hamathyum. Hakat. Al-Rakawa. Hatama'ala. Garshan. Ba'ashem Yahushai. The water Aman.
Power in English. Yahweh in the name of Yahushai.
Please
give us the power. Power to heal all manner of sickness.
The power to heal all manner of sickness.
All manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to
power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out. In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Thank you,
so be it.
Psalms, the 121st chapter in the Hebrew. Asha'ah. Ayanya. Aharyam. Ma'ayan. Yaba'ah. Isaiah. Ma'ayin. Yahweh. Aisha. Shamayam. Wa'arataza. Al Yathan. Lamawat. Ragalka. Al Yanawam. Shamarka. Ana. La'ah. Yanawam. Wala'ah. Yayashan. Shawamar. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shamarka. Yahweh. Tazalka. Al Yah. Yamyinka. Yawamam. Hashamat. La'ah. Yakaka. Wayarak. Balayala. Yahweh. Yashamarka. Makalra. Yashamar. Athnapashka. Yahweh. Yashamar. Taza'afka. Wabah. Wa'akah. Ma'aitha. Wa'ai. Iwalam.
Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He will not keep thee. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
Nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee in all evil.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all
He shall
evil.
preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy
The
soul.
Lord shall preserve thy going out.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
And thy cometh in.
and thy coming in.
From this day forth.
From this day forth
And forevermore.
and even forevermore.
All right. Psalms, the 83rd chapter. We're going to read it in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
All Dama Yalaka.
All Dama Yalaka.
All Thakarat.
All Thakaras.
Wa all Thashakwat.
Wa all Thashakwat.
All
Kayahana.
Kayahana. Our Yabika.
Our Yabyaka.
Yahamaya 1.
Yahamaya 1.
Ra'as.
Ra'as.
Al Imaka.
Al Amuka.
Ya'ara Yamwa.
Ya'ira Yamwa.
Sawada.
Sawada.
Wayatha.
Wayatha.
Ya'itazawa.
Ya'itazawa.
Al Tazapawanyaka.
Al Tazapawinyaka.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakakidam.
Wanakakidam.
Magawya.
Magalia.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yazakar.
Yazakar.
Sham Yasha Allah.
Sham Yasha Allah.
Iwada.
Iwada.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawa Aitazawa.
Nawa Aitazawa.
Laba.
Laba.
Yakadwa.
Yakadwa.
Alyaka.
Alyaka.
Barya.
Barya.
Yakar Athwa.
Yakar Aswa.
Ahalya.
Ahalya.
Adawam.
Adawam.
Wa Yashamai.
Wayashamai.
Alayam.
Alayam.
Mawa Abba.
Mawa Abba.
Wahagarya.
Wahagaria.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Wa I'm a one.
Wa I'm a one.
Wa I'm a lot.
Wa I'm a lot.
Kalashah.
Kalasa.
I'm your subject.
I'm your subject.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Gam Asawar.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Imam.
Imam.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Zarawai.
Zarawai.
Labanya Lawat.
Labanya Lawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Aisha Laham.
Ashai Laham.
Kamadyan.
Kamadyan.
Kasaya.
Kasaya.
Sara'ah.
Sara'ah.
Kayabyan.
Kayabyan.
Banakal.
Banakal.
Kwayash.
Kwayash.
One. Nashamadwa.
Nashamadwa.
Bayan.
Bayan.
Da'ara.
Da'ara.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Daman.
Daman.
La'adama.
La'adama.
Shayathamwa.
Shayatamwa.
Slaki. Nada.
Nada.
Yabmawa.
Yabmawa.
Ka'ira.
Ka'ira.
Wakaza Abba.
Wakaza Abba.
Wakaza Ba.
Wakaza Ba.
Wakatazal.
Wakatazal.
Mana'ai.
Mana'ai.
Call.
Call.
Nasaya.
Nasaya.
Kamwa.
Kamwa.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Nayarasha.
Nayarasha.
Lanawa.
Lanawa. Ah.
Nope. Slaki. Na'awat.
Na'awat.
Allahayim.
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 Shayathamwa.
Shayatamwa.
Kagalgala.
Kagogala.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
Lapanya.
Lapanya.
Raka.
Raka.
Tharadakma.
Taradakma.
Basairaka.
Basairaka.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Sabaira.
Dabaira.
Ya'ira.
Ya'ira.
Wa.
Wa.
Kalahaba.
Kalahaba.
Thalahat.
Talahat.
Haryam.
Haryam.
Kan.
Kan.
Tharadakma.
The Waratma.
Slaki. Tharadakma.
Taradakma.
Basairaka.
Basairaka.
Wabasa.
Wabasa.
Wapavka.
Wapavka.
The Bahalam.
The Bahalam.
What? Slaki. Mala'a.
Mala'a.
Panyaham.
Banyaham.
Kuala One.
Kuala One.
Waya.
Waya.
Bakwashwa.
Bakwaswa.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Waya.
Waya.
Bahawa.
Bahawa.
Aya.
Aya.
I. Waya.
Waya.
Kaparwa.
Kaparwa.
Waya.
Waya.
Abadwa.
Abadwa.
Waya.
Waya.
Da'aiwa.
Da'aiwa.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Atha.
Atha.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Labadka.
Labadka.
Al Yawan.
Al Yawan.
Al Kal.
Al Kal.
Ha'arat.
Ha'arataza.
Psalms 83rd chapter, in English. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy
And
peace.
be not still, O Yahweh.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
For lo, thy enemies make a tumble.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumble.
They that hate thee are lifted up the head.
And they that hate thee lifted up the head.
Taking crafty counsel against thy people.
They're taking crafty counsel against thy people.
Consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Israel.
That the name of Israel
May be no more in remembrance.
may be no more in remembrance.
They have consulted together with one consent.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against.
They are confederate against thee.
Tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The Ishmaelites.
The Ishmaelites of Moab.
Hagarenes,
The Hagarenes.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Hammon.
And Hammon.
Amalek.
And Amalek.
Philistines.
The Philistines.
Inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Ashur also joined with them.
Assur also is joined with them.
They have opened the children of Salah.
They have opened the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them unto the Midianites.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
As to Sarah.
As to Sisera.
As Jabin.
As to Jabin.
The book of Kishan.
At the brook of Kisan.
Perished and endured.
Which perished and endured.
They have become dung unto the earth.
They have become dung unto the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
And like Zeeb.
And like Zeeb.
Yea,
Yea.
all their princes. Yea, all their princes of Sabah.
Yea, all their princes as Sabah.
And as Amunah.
And as Amunah.
They have said.
They have said.
Let us take to ourselves the house of God in possession.
Let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession.
Oh my Yahweh.
Oh my Yahweh.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As the sun before the wind.
As the stumble before the wind.
As the fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burneth the wood.
And as the flames set the mountains on fire.
And as the flames set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
They may seek thy name, O Yahweh.
That they may seek thy name, O Yahweh.
Let them be confounded and troubled forever.
Let them be confounded and troubled forever.
Yea, let them be put to shame and perish.
Yea, let them be put to shame and perish.
That men by know whose Slakia. That men may know whose name is Yahweh.
That men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh,
art the Most High of all the earth.
art the Most High over all the earth.
We're going to read the blessings in the Hebrew. All right. The blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahweh Shai.
Wa Yahweh Shai.
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Wa Allahayim.
Wa Allahayim.
Wa Tzazab Ya'ar.
Wa Tzazab Ya'ar.
Allah Wap Yahana.
Allah Wap Yahana.
Ha Allah Wap Yah.
Ha Allah Wap Yah.
Ha Saranyam.
Ha Saranyam.
Ha Kwatazayanyam.
Ha Kwatazayanyam.
Ha Kaya Yoyam.
Ha Kaya Yoyam.
Wa Ha Akwatyam.
Wa Ha Akwatyam.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Tawad Aman.
Tawad Aman.
Blessings in English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commander General Yohana.
Commander General Yohana.
The generals.
The generals.
The
captains.
The
officers.
The
troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. All right. Sisters, Yeshabium, you can be seated. All right. Any brothers want their head anointed with oil, you can step to the front. Right. One second. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna put this oil on your heads, and then we're gonna read the anointing prayer. This anointing prayer that we're reading is coming out of Numbers, the 6th chapter, verses 22 through 27. All right. All this is, of course, brothers know this just for anybody that's watching. This is an anointing prayer, a blessing from the Most High God. And you'll, of course, we'll translate it into English. So just brothers up here, we're going to say the prayer. I'm going to say it. He's going to repeat me. And then, of course, when I point to you, you say your name 3 times. All right? Yabaraka Yahweh. Yabaraka Yahweh.
Yabaraka Yahweh.
Waya Shamarka.
Waya Shamarka.
Ya'ar Yahweh.
Ya'ar Yahweh.
Pan Yahweh.
Pan Yahweh.
Auyaka.
Ayaka.
Waya Kanka.
Waya Kanka.
Yasha'a Yahweh.
Yasha'a Yahweh.
Pan Yahweh.
Pan Yahweh.
Auyaka.
Ayaka.
Waya Shamlaka.
Waya Shamlaka.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapa.
Rapa.
Magun.
Magun.
Hagun.
Magun.
Amatazah.
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 Kabatama.
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 Kabatama. Y'all brothers can be seated. Clap it up. What we just said in the English, right? What we just said in English is Yahweh, bless thee and keep thee. Yahweh make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, bless, heal, shield, protect. Amatazah, walk up out of mouth. All right? Any sisters that want to be anointed, you can step up. All right? If not, we'll move on. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to salute out the class. All right, so salute out the Sabbath service. All right, 1 second. Close this out. All right, so just the men, right? Men of Israel, Amajim, which means to stand. Amajim Shabbat. Amajim Barak.
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Barakatham.
Sorry towards the sisters. Sisters Amajim. All right, we're going to give the sisters a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat. Amajim Barak.
Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Yajim Matah, Sabbath service dismissed.